So I started with a band called Geoff Landon and the Wolfpack, and it all came from me trying to make a demo uh, down in Nashville and working with artist development group down in Nashville when I was about 19 years old. I made a 10-song album and paid for it myself, and met Larry Butler, who produced Kenny Rogers, The Gambler. There was an irony because I had just gotten out of boot camp with an injury, and I was sent home, and I would see in boot camp, I would see a chaplain sing "God Bless the USA," and there was 600 badasses, crying, and I thought that was an amazing moment. And as I was getting ready to leave, they put me in a place called Transit. It was a room that we stayed in overnight, and I got ready to go home with our civilian clothes. And CMT was brand new the first time in 1994, and so I saw "Don't Take the Girl" from Tim McGraw on a video. Well, I'd get home, I'd I'd be living homeless out of a Thunderbird in Wittenberg, Wisconsin, and I would go to the bowling alley. I would sing karaoke. They would ask me to come in, and I'd do that. And then about 9 o'clock, they'd kick my butt back outside because I was too young. I was sitting there on the stoop. They asked me to come back in like an hour later, and they would do that regularly for a couple of weeks. They'd let me come in and sing karaoke, even though I wasn't supposed to be in the bar. And they told me about this contest going on at the high school. And I went over and tried out. This was about June of '94, and I had the background tape of "Don't Take the Girl." I went in, sang about a minute and a half, about like this. And they said, "Great, we'll have you, come on back." And I was passing by in my ADHD kind of a way. I was like, "Yeah, they had this riser, and he was standing on it in the video, and it was so great." And I looked at him and I went, "You probably don't care." And about 2 months later, the show would go off. It was like August, and we would do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But when I walked in the door, they had built a riser, put a smoke machine up, and a whole bunch of lights, all for that one song. And there was like 40 other people singing that day. I wrote a song called "Be Like Tim" that kind of describes those moments of being in boot camp and being, at a bar for the first time singing "Don't Take the Girl," and you think these bikers are going to hurt you because you're singing a slow song. And in the end, it turned out to be so amazing that I would grow from there. And I mean, I've been a, decent singer, I hope, all these years in Wisconsin. And, now I've got a family, and I've got 3 kids, and, uh, I just made do and got to be, a bar paid musician for almost 25 years. And uh, my son was born about 12 years ago, and I've been able to provide for him playing music. And so many people tell me I have a bigger voice than just now. So I hope this finds you well, and maybe someday, even though I'm 48 years old, I can still give back to the world my ability.